Alright guys, how's it going? So I've been to the cafe this morning and I have reviewed today's Spanish football dailies for you. I've taken a look at everything, I've made some notes, what with me being a professional and everything, and now I'm home to tell you what they've been saying. Alright, now the one that I've been looking forward to reading about this morning was Trent Alexander-Arnold, because obviously yesterday I think many of us were surprised when it came out that Liverpool were going to receive up to £10 million from Real Madrid to make that deal happen, right? Earlier. Now, if you don't know, there's the FIFA Club World Cup coming up. I'm sure you've read about it. And Real Madrid, saying they want him for that, which is why they've stumped up the cash. They wanted Dean Huijsen for that tournament. Real Madrid absolutely want to win that tournament. Now, if you don't like Real Madrid, pay attention to this tournament, right? And hope that they do not win it. Because over here, I think it was yesterday, because Trent was the front page today, but yesterday it was the front page about how Real Madrid are going all in for this competition because it's worth 100 million, right? It's worth 100 million, and unlike the Champions League, you only play about half of the amount of games to actually win it, right? So Real Madrid are taking it very, very seriously. So Liverpool's side of things, if you like, said, oh, we're going to get like up to 10 million quid. And yesterday, I'm sure I mentioned it in a video, I said it'd be interesting to see what the Spanish friends of ours have got to say today, right? Because I didn't think that they would agree with that figure. So, for example, back in January, when they tried to sign Trent, Joyce and, the Liverpool media were trying to say that they'd offered £20 million, whereas over here in Spain, the Madrid-based media, they said something like €10 million or something like £8.5 million or a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? So the figures were way out, and it's up to you to, who do you believe? Like you're gonna believe you bias with your own club, right? Yeah, well, you got your fucking 10 million. You know what I mean? It's just them like saving face or whatever. Anyway, let's see what they had to say. So Trent Alexander-Arnold today was covered in AS. I call it AS because if I pronounce it as it properly is, sometimes YouTube thinks it's a naughty word. Sport and Mundo Deportivo. So he was in 3 of the papers today from memory. I mean, that's what I've got here in my notes. Key points, obviously, officially signed for Real Madrid until 2031. Will play in the Club World Cup. That's when I'm going to start my Traitor Trent feature, I think. I was going to do Trent Watch next season, but many of you have said, nah, fuck it, call it Traitor Trent. You know what I mean? When I prefix the videos. But I know some people get a bit butthurt and upset. Are we bothered about them? Should we be grown-ups about it? Or what do you reckon? Let me know. Traitor Trent or Trent Watch, you let me know. Fee dispute. Sport and English media say 10 million was paid, right? Or 10 million euros was paid. Real Madrid, via Mundo Deportivo, insist it was 5 million euros, which includes wages owed and compensation. So there is a dispute over that fee, the amounts that are being paid. 1 billion euros release clause. 20 million euros signing bonus for arriving as a free agent, seen as Carvajal's long-term successor, but could also play wing-back or midfield. Liverpool fans feel betrayed. Slot wasn't impressed with his attitude in training, which was, we know that we've seen those recent comments. So over here, some of the publications are saying, no, it was much less than what Liverpool are claiming, but I don't think these friends of ours would ever admit it. So you take what do you reckon? Who do you believe? I believe Liverpool. I do, honestly. I do. I believe Liverpool. I think Hughes and Edwards, that dream team, if you like. I know some people think the sun shines out of Edwards' ass. I've never been like that. But I honestly, when I saw it yesterday, I was like, that is fucking class. It is. Because back in January, they weren't offering much more. Do you know what I mean? Because in January, I believe the Madrid side of things. But anyway, there you go. Luis Diaz, today, covered in Mundo Deportivo. This is a pro-Barcelona newspaper. Key points. Top transfer priority for Barcelona this summer, reiterated. Deco and Laporta prefer him over Nico Williams, which is, I find that really surprising, when you look at their age and things like that. Contract with Liverpool ends in 2027, has not signalled interest in renewing. Can't see him doing that either, to be honest with you. And the linked exit would help fund Liverpool's move for Florian Wirtz. He also posted this social media message, which has been picked up in Spain as well, which was seen as a bit of a goodbye message, to people. I won't read it all out to you. It's been an unforgettable season that I'll always carry in my heart, My thanks to everyone, teammates, coaching staff, club personnel and the fans, that kind of thing. So obviously people are saying, oh, is that a goodbye message? Listen, if you follow my channel or if you follow Cop Talk in general, the website, you will know that I've had Barca going there since last year, and they couldn't do it last summer because of the financial restrictions, right? So it's not so much that Barcelona is skint, which is what people assume. It's the financial restrictions, the fair play, if you like. They're on the 1-4 rule at the minute, not the 1-1 rule. But that's reviewed at the end of June, and it looks like they probably will get that 1-1 status, which in very simple terms means that in the summer they can come in for Luis Diaz. Let's say he costs 70 million euros and his contract's 20 million, right? Just 90 million in total to that club expenditure. Then the accounts at Barcelona have to show an income of 90 million, not player sales, it could be anything. It's just got to come into the books. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, because it's on the 1-4 rule, it's not like that. They probably need to get like 175 million in, you know? So it's very difficult for Barcelona to trade at the moment, unless they do lots of player sales or something like that. But we all know come on, he wants Barcelona. Barcelona want him. He's a primary target. I know some of you have mentioned Rashford. He is on there. He's a target, if you like, but he's not a primary target of Barcelona. What's the other thing? And Liverpool want to sell him. Liverpool will sell him to Barcelona if the money's right, guys. So anyway, we're moving on. Kubo, a player at Real Sociedad, fast little fucker, really small guy, really good player. Liverpool heavily linked with him last summer. His speculations up in the air again. I don't see Liverpool doing anything with him, but some of you might be interested because of that previous link. It was covered in Sport today, which is the pro-Barcelona newspaper. Key points: Real Sociedad's priorities to keep him under new coach Sergio Francisco. Disappointed with the team's lack of dominance this season. Contracted until 2029, but recently changed agents. No formal offers yet, according to the club president at Real Sociedad. And there is a previous comment of his which is included, which is, I miss the Real Sociedad that used to dominate matches, chance after chance. That hasn't been the case lately. Jeremy Frimpong was covered in Sport, pro-Barcelona. Key point: signed by Liverpool as Trent's replacement. Just 6 hours after Trent's Madrid move was made official. €35 million release clause paid to Bayer Leverkusen. Strong stats under Alonso, 23-24 season, 14 goals, 10 assists, 47 games. 24-25 season, 5 goals in 9 assists, it says. Returning to the UK, where he began his youth career. I think that is all I have for you from the Spanish media this morning. So yeah, I think it was obvious that that Madrid were going to say, "Nah, we didn't pay that much." You know what I mean? But I think, do you know what? Honestly, people will, if you sign Wirtz, people are going to bang on about how great Hughes and Edwards are for pulling that off and everything, right? Yeah, Arne Slot's been credited with this, like he's sold this, like this project, and the club is a very attractive thing right now, right? And so, not taking anything away from Hughes and Edwards if they manage to do that, but what I'll say to you is, if someone said to me, well, if they got 10 million, right, worth up to 10 million for Trent, for the sake of a few weeks, that's fucking genius. Absolute hilarious, that. It really is. Traitor Trent, are we going to call the feature Traitor Trent? Every video next season is going to be Traitor Trent previewed, that are about him, obviously. Or are we calling it Trent Watch? Are we going to be grown up, or are we going to be bitter and pathetic and childish and call it Traitor Trent? What do you reckon? Let me know. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's just a summary of what's been said over here. Nothing about Florian Wirtz. I'm going to be honest with you. In there. So no, I didn't see anything to do with Florian Wirtz. No major suggestions of Real Madrid going in for him. I checked everything for you today. All right, guys. Take it easy. If you appreciate the video, if you like the video, please thumbs up the video. If you found it helpful at all, drop me a comment. I love hearing from you guys. You're the best. I've seen some great comments recently. Thank you very much. If you want to get me a coffee, there's a love out under the video. You can click that. I go to the cafe 6 days a week. I do the papers for you guys. And yeah, it just helps me. You know what I mean? So, and I always give a shout out to everyone that does that in my morning briefing, which is the next morning on my other YouTube channel, which is probably on the screen somewhere now. Or it's in the video description. Cheers, guys.